This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios Lab Creation podcast home base. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. Episode 156 is brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. And if it's your first time or you're a long-time listener, please remember, hit that subscribe button, that notify button. Go ahead and give us a review on the listening app of choice. So open that app, give us that 5 stars, whatever the max stars is, 5 or 4, and, write a nice little review. It'll shoot us up the charts, make it look really, really good, and, it doesn't cost anything. So go ahead and do us that favor. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. On Facebook, you can find us on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans or 606 Media Group, or my handle is Big Z _606 Media Group. So hit us up on the DMs if you got suggestions for stirring a pot. If you want to debate us about the Bears' upcoming record, we'll be talking a little bit of baseball with the Crosstown. So if you want to talk some smack, go ahead. It's all good. It's all welcome. And that's what it's for. So for debates. Don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm /True Chicago Sports Fans, and go over there and click on the support button. You can hit subscribe, and it's only 99 cents. All right. It doesn't cost you. You got more than that in your cushions, in your couch, or in the cup holder in your car. There's 99 cents. Come on. Drop it off. So I know you guys like the show, and I know you guys are fans because you're actually listening, but tell your friends, and then they'll tell their friends, and we can just have a big group of friends that listen to the show that, are enjoying this type of content. So do us a favor, and if we make you think, we make you cry, we, stir up some emotion. If you want to argue with us, you've got to listen. You've got to listen and share with other people. A lot of people love sports, and you can share that positive, paying it forward. So let's get into my week. It's been a long one. Let's see. I was over at Roscoe Fest, over there on Roscoe, over there by Lane Tech. So in between Western and Damon. Tons of vendors out there, like lots of cool food that was available, very eclectic. From funnel cakes to, street corn to burgers or sliders or, Mexican food. There was some Cuban food out there. Definitely lots of drinks. But, it was a great time. I also got to see an old buddy of mine, Vinny Van Action. He's playing with his new band. I was able to take a picture with him. I'll post that on my social so you can see it. And just ran into one of our listeners and one of my good friends, Orlando. So thanks for finding me as I'm walking in, and he busted me out because I was wearing a WhiteSox shirt. It says "Sorry for the home run." It had a little small Sox logo, and we'll get into why I wore that. But he busted me out saying, "Oh, I thought you weren't gonna wear it." Well, that was the only thing that was clean that day, so that's what I wore. But yeah, definitely a great time at Roscoe Fest. That's probably one of the best parts of the city in the summer is all of the festivals going on. I think Pilsen Fest just wrapped up this weekend, and there's literally 4 fests every weekend, so you can bounce around and enjoy the different types of food and different type of atmosphere. If you follow a band or DJ, those are awesome to always go to as well. I was also invited this week to go bowl with the No Water No Weekend boys. They needed a fourth. Their fourth was not there. He was ill or something. I can't remember. So I was able to bowl with them. It was a lot of fun. Bowling at Diversity is a lot different than bowling at Waveland. I know they were giving me a lot of slack for saying that every week. Well, they changed patterns at Waveland during the summer league, and you guys had a nice fresh coat of oil on your lanes this week, and it was kind of cool. It was huge adjustments that I had to go through, but I had fun. I bowled below average the first 2 games, and then my average the last game. I don't remember what the score were because I didn't get to take a picture of them. But anytime the boys need me, they got my number. I can always sub in for them. So it's fun time. I love hanging out at Diversity. Shout out to Diversity Bowl. And I think we have 2 more weeks left in our summer league at Waveland, and it's been a up and down season, just because this is the first time I've bowled in the league where they changed the patterns. So it's very, very difficult, but it's also supposed to make you a better bowler. So I'm looking forward to ending the season on a high note and starting my new season, which lasts I don't know how many weeks. It goes to September to May. So I look forward to making a lot more money and bowling well in that league because of what I did this summer. So, and a couple little side notes. Last Friday, took a little tumble. Yep, took a little tumble. Street cleaning was going on. I was like, gotta go get up in the morning. I was like, let me go move my vehicle. And sometimes you get overconfident in your surroundings, and you're not paying attention. And essentially, I slipped on one of the stairs, and I was in the air, and it literally froze, just like in Deadpool. Like, oh, you're wondering how I got here, and it ended up landing on my lower back, and really messing it up. I'm in a lot of pain, still in a lot of pain since this past Friday. So definitely trying to take it easy. It hurts to move to the left and kind of almost when you breathe, but I'm all right. I'm still walking. Nothing's broken, hopefully. So I'll be probably putting a heat pack on. That's to get that loosened up. But always be aware of your surroundings. You get too overconfident in your stairs or where things are in the house, and that's how you get injured. So y'all be careful, because I need to be. All right, well, that's enough talking about what happened this week. In this episode, it is part 2 of the Crosstown Classic. Who will take the cup? The Bears had their first preseason game. There was some impressive moments, and there were some things that you were like, well, they can improve on it. But all of that and much more with Stirring the Pot and What You Looking At. So let's just get started. All right, listeners, I know you've been waiting for this for a long time. If you're a football head, it is football season, and it's Bear season. If you're a White Sox fan, it's been Bear season for about a month and a half. It's probably 2 months, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's Bear season. First preseason game is in the books, and we're gonna change it up a little bit on the show as we make some adjustments here. We'll still be doing 3 and out. It'll be a little bit different. You want to change the focus and keep it short and concise. So this will be a dry run for when we do have guests. So what I want to do is I want to focus on 3 aspects of the game, 3 pivotal plays or 3 players, and then we're going to punt it out. So 3 main points and then 1 bad thing and punt it out. All right. So this is 3 and out. All right. 3 and out. The Chicago Bears open the preseason with a 23-17 win over the Titans of Tennessee, where the starting offense had some explosive plays. The defense dominated. Justin Fields had an easy afternoon, completing all 3 passes, including 2 screens, 1 to wide receiver DJ Moore and 1 to running back Khalil Herbert that went for a long touchdown. I got to play the clip. I mean, this is exciting. Here we go.
Here this offseason. First touch for DJ Moore. They used him in a ton of ways in Carolina. This was one of them, and there he goes. Goodbye touchdown. Welcome to Chicago, DJ Moore.
All right, you heard it there. I mean, what a great call by Adam Amin. I love listening to Adam Amin call the Bears games. It was as simple as that. I know he went 3 for 3, including the one you just heard from DJ Moore. He had another one to Khalil Herbert. 73 yards passing, 73 yards after the catch, the yak, which is very, very important because the wide receivers for the Bears were dead last year in yak, yards after catch. That's an important stat. What you don't want is we don't want to see the repeat of last year of Justin running around like a chicken with no head. Right? You want to see a complete offense where if they need to dump it off, it's going to move somewhere. The running back's going to do their job. The offensive line's going to do their job. I mean, it's one game. It's one preseason game, and I know that a lot of it's vanilla, but they're still installing some things out of the offense that you will see this year. So we're looking at the progression of Justin Fields. He didn't really, usually last year he would either overthrow it or underthrow it. You didn't see that. He was able to give the ball to the receiver in a spot where they can turn around and go upfield. And that's what you saw with these screen passes. So that's one of my points there in 3 and out. That's my first down. It's the exciting progression of Justin Fields. He is QB1. He gave it to wide receiver 2, and we got 6 points out of it. So 1 + 2 = 6 in Chicago. All right, for second down, the defense that that Matt Eberflus put in, his hits principle, it works. Right now it's working. Totaling 8 sacks, 4 takeaways, and holding the Titans scoreless in the second half. His defense did the hits principle proud. It makes a big difference when your team buys into your philosophy. I mean, you're looking at 8 sacks and 4 takeaways. If we can do that every single game, hey, we're going to be up to an NFC Championship game. I guarantee you that. And I know it's preseason. This is not a sustainable thing. Right, this is not going to happen against Kansas City or Philadelphia, the good teams. That's not going to happen again. But it's good to see these guys playing fast. The defense was playing fast. They were getting rushes, right? They were able to get 8 sacks, 4 takeaways, and hold them, scoreless in the second half. These are guys that are trying to win jobs as second and third stringers. That's what you need. You need that hunger. You need that dogfight. You need to be starving to get to want to get to that quarterback or to break up a pass or get an interception. That's what we need. That's definitely what we need. All right, for third down. All right, for third down, I want to talk about Kyler Gordon. He's battling for his starting role on the team. Came from behind. Came from behind after a good completion. Malik Willis found a couple wide open Chris Moore, which led to yards after catch, but Gordon closed from behind and tackled the ball instead of the player. All right, so what I wanted to talk about for third down is Kyler Gordon, who had a beautiful hit. Gordon, who's battling for a starting role on the team, came from behind after a good completion. Malik Willis found a wide open Chris Moore, which led to yards after catch, but Gordon closed in from behind and tackled the ball instead of the player. Moore was ruled down by contact, however. So, I mean, it's going to happen. But I love that he didn't give up on the play. After crossing into Bears territory, the rookie Tyjae Spears took a pitch into the red zone. The Bears defense took advantage of a short field and timed a hit on Moore again, forcing another loose ball, recovered by TJ Edwards. However, it was ruled incomplete pass and resulted in a failed challenge by the Bears. A few plays later, Malik Willis pulled RPO down and ran left into the end zone, 7-0 Titans. So Kyler Gordon's, he's flying around. Like I said, this defense needs to be hungry. Some of these guys are battling for a job in the NFL. They might get cut from the Bears and have to fight to be on another team. You've got to show that, if you have tape on you where you don't give up, that's stuff that the coaches love, and those are the type of players that they want. They want hungry players. All right, for the punt. Oh, man. A year notable struggles fielding punts. The Bears are giving second-year pro Velus Jones Jr. the shot at the returning job. On Saturday, Jones failed to field cleanly either punt sent his way. Both hit the ground. The first one he caught on the bounce and returned for 7 yards. The second one also hit the ground, and then he tried to field it on the bounce, but this time the Titans clobbered Jones as soon as he touched the ball. It was a high bounce. He should have let that one go. I don't understand why he was trying to catch it. Yeah, and he got fucking rocked. The Titans linebacker Luke Gifford recovered the muffled punt. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable because you're flipping the field. If they're kicking to you and you're fielding it at the 20, the 30, and you muff the punt, you literally just gave them 40 yards. You gave them 40, 50 yards. Very easily. You know, that changes momentums in games, and that is how you lose games or win games. It's the special teams. The Bears were very, very good at that when we had Devin Hester. When we had Robbie Gould, our special teams were on par with the elite. You don't give away possessions. You don't give away points, right? You want to set up your offense to succeed, and the punt return and a kickoff return are huge for that. And it's with such a good game where you felt excited to see Justin Fields. You saw the offensive line do well. You seen the defensive line do well. You sent the cornerbacks flying around, the linebackers hitting hard. And then you have the special teams. And they were special, if you know what I'm saying. So it's got to be cleaned up, or put somebody who is dependable at catching the ball and has common sense that the ball is going to bounce. Let it go. Let it go. You don't have to hit a home run every single time. All right? If you give me 5, 10, 15 yards, great. Just catch the ball and don't turn it over. Don't change. Don't give them the momentum. It's simple as that. All right, y'all. That was our abbreviated Bear segment this week. I had no one to argue with, so I wanted to give you a little bit of facts, a little bit of my opinion. Shout out to Edwin from Output Lounge, who came up to me and said he disagreed with me about the Bears only winning 7 games. He thinks they can win 10 or more. He's an optimist. He's also a Cub fan. So take that with a grain of salt or a grain of sugar, however you like it. I say 7 games. But we'll be right back with baseball, the Crosstown Classic, after these messages.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, this is Mikey O, and you're listening to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Don't forget to visit Mikey O at Mikey O Show or www.MikeyOShow.com.
Welcome back to True Chicago Sports Fans with Big Z. It is time for 3 up and 3 down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
All right. It is time for round 2 of the Crosstown Classic with 2 games at Wrigley Field with the Cubs. But let's break down what the Cubs have been doing this past week. They are 61-57, 3 games back of the Brewers. Sorry, Cub fans, my White Sox let you down. And not helping you out. I think that would, you would be half game out of first place if we would have swept. But our team sucks. So again, the Cubs are 6-4 in their last 10. They took 2 of 3 from Toronto after losing the series to the Mets. I thought it would have been the other way around. because the Mets are horrible. The Mets are a big disappointment, like the Padres and the White Sox. But right now, what I'm looking at, it's 3.5 games. There's plenty of time to gain ground. It's not, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of baseball to be played. Now, the other possibility to make it in the postseason, you could go for the what is it? The non-divisional way would be the wild card, right? There's 3 teams that are going to be in the wild card, but that's a little tougher. I feel like that's a little tougher. I think they're a half game out of being they're out of the bubble right now. So the first 3 teams are there. Might be the Marlins, Philadelphia, and I forgot who else. And the Cubs are half a game out. I still think the Cubs can win this division if they can, get their pitching in order. Stroman has been off, he's coming off that the IL, so let's see what happens there. Smiley has been garbage, straight garbage. Assad has been great. Hendricks has been decent lately. The pitching's coming around, and you guys are the Cubs have been great at hitting, one of the great offenses. So right now it's time to step on that gas and go. And you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this Cubs team is doing, because they convinced the front office not to make another sell-off, not to sell off to these pieces. They showed a management that they want to play together. So I'm in the stages of grief, right? I was in denial. I don't know what the other ones are, but I think I've come to the acceptance part when it comes to the White Sox. I'm gonna start wearing my White Sox gear again, and I accept that my team sucks. I accept that the manager has no idea what he's doing. I accept that these players are half-assing it. I accept that my GM has made horrible moves, and I've been defending him, saying he's been handcuffed. He's got to go. I accept that Kenny Williams is always going to have his finger in White Sox business, even though it may not be under his job description. I accept that the owner is complacent with just raking in money and doesn't have the hunger for having a sustained success like the Atlanta Braves of the 90s, like the Dodgers, who are always in it. It's frustrating. It's sad to do this to a fan base year after year after year after. It's a very abusive relationship, and White Sox fans are very, very loyal. And when the team is not winning, they will not show up. And I know what Cub fans are always, your stadium's empty. I mean, we average right in the middle of attendance. Okay, so go blow smoke somewhere else. But let's talk a little bit of White Sox, and then we'll get into the Crosstown. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, so I'll keep it short and sweet when it comes to the Sox. Cease and Schultz have both had great outings this week, only to be ruined by the bullpen and lack of offense. It's story of the season. Great pitching, no hitting. It'll be great hitting, bullpen gives it up. Bonehead plays. And I know Yo-Yo has been great defense, but he's had a couple multi-hit games this week. It's fool's gold. Don't be like, Yo-Yo's back. No, his back is messed up. He's not back. He's inconsistent. It's fool's gold. It looks shiny, but it ain't worth nothing. You got Eloy. He's been hitting some home runs because Lou Bob has his pinky's messed up or whatever it is, so he's taking a couple of days off. But Eloy's found the stroke, and the problem is that kid it's all mental. If he can keep his head in the game and run 100% without getting hurt, he can be a 3 to 4 tool player. He can be somewhere you can supplement for Lou Bob. That's what you need. I don't know. It looks like he might have been taking, the advice from Frank Thomas that he made on a post-game show. Like, you need to run 100% at practice and get, nice and warm and lathered up. He's been running pregame really hard at first base and during the game now. So I don't know what clicked. I don't know if they're listening to post-game with Ozzy and Chuck and Frank. But it's something is, I think Grafal is just taking notes. He's DVR'd it, and then, taking notes from an actual manager with a World Series ring. And a Hall of Famer. So I don't know what it is. It's trickling down, but I'm glad we didn't make any more headline news. But it's still a disappointment to watch this team. And I'm still watching, yes. I am still watching. Let's see. There's no need to go over the record. They're out of the playoff hunt. The only thing to talk about the schedule is the Chicago World Series. So we'll get that in a second. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, Berger's doing great in Miami. He just hit a walk-off home run the other day. It's just time to start developing and actually building a winning culture and a culture of discipline. It's time to have a brand and not a losing brand on the South Side. All right, so let's talk Crosstown. The Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox are set to resume, the hostilities. It used to be a friendly game in preseason, in spring training. Then became part of the NL versus AL, and it's always been a fun game to watch. I'm not a fan of going to these games because people get ridiculously drunk and really brave and starts fights. So I don't really always partake in those games, but I love watching them. So this week, they're going to be on the north side. All right, they're going to be at Wrigley, and they've been playing each other since '97. White Sox have the edge at 73-69. Barely. It's getting close. The Cubs could potentially sweep the season series if they win both games at Wrigley and win the Crosstown Cup outright for the first time since 2018. So it's been 5 years. So I'm going to give you some numbers, right? Just to keep it interesting, put those little nuggets in there. So if you want to use these at the game to win some funny bets, go for it. All right, the White Sox have never swept the Cubs in a season series between the two teams, but the Northsiders do have a big bragging rights on this part. The Cubs have swept the White Sox twice in the season series, doing so in 1998 at Wrigley Field and in 4-game split between the ballparks in 2013. The Cubs could add a third sweep if they beat the White Sox Tuesday and Wednesday, which would be today and tomorrow. Southside home run edge. Both teams have boasted about some incredible home runs, but the crown ultimate goes to Paul Konerko with 20 home runs, 73 games against the Cubs. Second on that list would be former Cub Aramis Ramirez, love that kid, who clubbed 13 long balls against the Southsiders. Abreu, loved playing at Wrigley, had 12 in his career with the White Sox against the Cubs, and Sammy Sosa belted 11. Active leaders on both teams right now, you got Yasmani Grandal, Eloy Jimenez have hit 6 career home runs against the Cubs. You have Patrick Wisdom, who has 5 against the White Sox. That's a lot of homers. All right. Konerko also leads players in games with 73. So he's played 73 Cubs Sox games. He also has the most RBIs to his credit in 58 of those, 58 ribbies in 73 contests. 73 games, 50. This is pretty good. Adrian Przinsky played 45 games against the Cubs, while Alexi Ramirez played 43. Sammy Sosa led the Cubs with 39 RBI in a Crosstown series, while also playing the most games of the Cubs with the Cubs of 42. Let's see. Thievery. We're talking about stealing bases. Scott Pasenik, Javi Baez, and Ian Happ all have 5. I'm sorry. Javi Baez and Ian Happ have 5 stolen bases, and Pasenik has 9. Jesus, 9. All right. The White Sox have the winning record, right? They, it's a very slim one. The North Sides are about to even this thing out. I'm telling you right now. Zambrano has 6 victories in the Crosstown series. Big Z, the real Big Z, the one that makes money, the one that made money with the Cubs. Yeah, that guy. He has, and former guest, right? He has 6 victories in the Crosstown series. John Lester has 5. Mark Burley has 5. John Danks and Jake Peavy had 4. Not a lot of pitchers with wins, so that just shows you that the contest goes back and forth. Speaking of Big Z, Zambrano also holds the record for the most strikeouts by a pitcher in the rivalry with 71. Wow. Kyle Hendricks has 56. You got Burley with 60. Dylan Cease with 36. There's a lot of strikeouts and a lot of lead changes. That's what it looks like. All right. So how many players have played for both teams? You have 202. 202 players have appeared in games for both the Cubs and the White Sox. Although many of those came before the two Cubs started playing one against each other in regular season, there have been few noteworthy additions to that list during the course of the rivalry. For instance, Wellington Castillo has 431 games between the clubs. I'm sorry. He has 47 home runs and 166 RBIs in those contests. Craig Kimbrell appeared in 104 games with the two clubs between 2019 and 2021. He had the 39 saves and 158 strikeouts in those contests. Nick Madrigal has played 207 career games with both teams, 58 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. He also is one of 21 players in MLB history to suit up for both Cubs and White Sox in his career. Let's see. Jose Quintana had a total of 254 appearances for the two teams, 83 and 77 record, 1,310 strikeouts. Jeff Samardzija is another one. Giovanni Soto is another one. So there's a lot of history here between the Cubs and the Sox. There's lots of players that played for both teams and a lot of players that have a lot of good records against us. But those are some Cubs things, some Sox things, some Sox numbers right there. Right now, I'm looking for the Cubs to sweep. I know the White Sox have been playing a little bit better. The defense has been better. The pitching's been decent. The hitting's, it's hit or miss for the White Sox. But the Cubs right now are just a better team. Like, they went up to Toronto and beat Toronto. And I know Toronto's missing a couple pieces that they have on the IL. But right now, what it looks like, is that the Cubs are the better team. They look like they are the hungrier team. They want to be there. They want to win. I don't know what else to say about that's positive about my team, but it's going to be fun to see the White Sox play the Cubs. There's going to be a lot of home runs. There's going to be a lot of attention onto this because this is a series that can propel you with a great momentum to going forward. I know the Cubs have more games that have of importance coming up after this because they have to play Kansas City right after this, and they're a basement team. They're 38 and 81. They're worse than the White Sox, but not by much. But that's a series that they should be able to sweep. Kansas City was hot last week, winning I think 8 or 10 games, and they're there to play spoiler. But again, Cubs Sox, Wrigley Field. It's going to be rocking up at Wrigley Field. It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. It's going to be memorable. These games are very, very memorable. I hope no one gets punched on the field or off the field. I hope you enjoy your cocktails, whether you're watching at home, at the bar, or in person. You know what? Hit me up on the DMs. Let me know if you went to the game or how you spent it watching it. I think it's going to be a memorable game. I think there's something big is going to happen. I have a feeling about that. Either it's going to be a walk-off or extra inning long game. I want memorable games. So, all right, y'all. That is all for 3 Up and 3 Down. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. It's that time again. You know what time it is. It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, so I think we're done with the phone calls. I think they got that one last phone call last week. At the end, got a little dark. I hope the pinball machine's okay. We're going back to food. I was scouring the internet, and I found a food to talk about. And I'm pretty sure everyone's been to Panda Express. I think it's it's the McDonald's of Chinese food or Cantonese food. It's decent. It's not something that you're like, oh, I crave it. No, if it's at the food court, if it's at the airport, if it's if you're bored and can't figure out what to eat, and you see it, yeah, sure, why not? But they came out with a new product, and it is the orange chicken sandwich. Now, if you're familiar with their orange chicken, you know it's max. It's good, consistent. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to have it every day. No. It's a lot of sugar. But it's pretty good. All right. But they came out with a sandwich based on this chicken. So Panda Express orange chicken sandwich starts with a crispy breaded chicken breast tossed in sweet and spicy orange chicken sauce and many of us love. Then it's topped with crunchy dill pickles and a zippy sriracha aioli, all nested in a hearty potato roll. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the picture. It looks pretty good. Oh, I mean, I don't know how big it is because, photos are deceiving. But it does look like, the size of a McDonald's cheeseburger. So it's not as big. I'm not a big pickle guy. So caught myself on that one. I'm not a big pickle eater. Oh, there I did it again. I do not like pickles on my food. But it is something, you know what? I am going to try it. I mean, I don't think it's going to be expensive. I think it'll be, easy to do. So I think it's going to have good flavor. It's going to have a sweet citrus spiciness. So it has that orange glaze. So I'm down. So I will report back. I think I'll do this. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow for the White Sox game. Right before, we start watching the game, get a couple of these sandwiches. So I'll report back and let you guys know. But this is something, if you try it, let me know. Hit me up on a DM. Let me know what you think about it. Was it nasty? Was it good? We can compare notes. All right, hit me up on the DMs. All right, before you go, what are y'all watching that isn't sports? And I told you, I had a crazy week. I was busy. I watched a couple episodes of Flash. I went down the rabbit hole, and I had to watch the Infinity Crisis on Earth or something like that. And I had to watch it on Arrow and Batgirl and Supergirl and all the other shows. So I had to look up on the internet, go to that specific show, find what season, what episode that this takes place. And it was a pretty cool crossover event. I think the biggest deal for me was they had Arliss, name of the actors. Let me type that in. Arliss. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, I think his name is Robert Wall. He was in the original Batman with Vicky Vale. He was the other. I think he was a photographer or whatever. So he does a cameo. You have the actual Robin from the 70s series. He has a quick cameo in there. Smallville. He has a cameo with the other Lois. You had both Supermans that were in the movie and in the series. They were in there. And you had the Flash actor, the one that's in trouble all the time. Ezra Miller also made a cameo in this pretty cool crossover. So I think I'm on season 5, almost finished with it. So I'm almost done with it. You won't hear no more Flash after this. Well, maybe after I watch the movie, because I still haven't seen it. But I'm waiting for that to come out on HBO. Other thing that I put on the other day that I've never seen, because I've never seen the cartoon, but I did watch the movie Cruella on Disney Plus. I watched it. I didn't fall asleep. With I believe it's Emma Stone. Yep. I thought it was a solid movie. I've never seen the 101 Dalmatians and Cruella and all that. So I've never seen the cartoons, but watching the film, great backstory. And you didn't really realize that. Well, I don't want to give a spoiler. That's been out 2 years. I'll give out the spoilers. Her mom is the villain. So Cruella was given away as a kid, and she makes it anyways to being a fashion designer, and the main big fashion designer is actually her mom, who's a total bitch, who gave her up as a child. So I thought it was a great flick. I really thought it was a great flick. So I would really recommend it. It's awesome. And then lastly, right before getting on the podcast, I had to find something funny to watch, and is a classic, a absolute masterpiece of a classic. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That Jessica, huh? Definitely a great movie. Tons of one-liners. You do see a lot of different, I guess, intellectual properties is what I want to say. WB, Disney, and what other studios were making cartoons. You had pretty much every cartoon was in there. You had Bugs Bunny talking to Mickey Mouse in it. Samity Sam is in there. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't think would happen today. So it's a fun watch. As a little kid, that's probably one of my favorite movies. But it was fun to rewatch it and catch those jokes. Now with better picture quality that we have with the HD TVs, the crossover between the actors and the cartoons, you can see the significant difference. But I mean, back in the day, it was way ahead of its time, and I still think because they did it manually, it's way ahead of its time. So definitely a popcorn flick. All right, it's short and sweet. I told you this week it's gonna be short and sweet. Gotta get my point across, and next week it will be a little bit more heavier with the guys coming back. So, all right, y'all, that is it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for the keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup, the newest show in the 606 Media family. It is the No Water on the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean, a pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. New episodes every single Monday. So after you're almost done with this episode, go over there and find that one, all right, and start listening. And that one is not news-based, so you can find a lot of funny ones. You can and go down the rabbit hole with those boys. All right, shout out to Ronesh Panic Series Beats and custom made for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us on Twitter at True Shy Fans. You can find us on TikTok once I start posting again. You can find us on Facebook, IG, Spotify, Apple iTunes. Reach out to us on our email. We want to hear from you. You got a recommendation for stirring the pot, a restaurant, a TV show, a movie, hit me up or DM me. Our email is truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. I am Big Z. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. We will see you next time for episode 157. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth. Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. Show's over, show's over, show's over.